and good afternoon, my future chefs. Today we are making a delicious, very easy recipe that you can impress all your loved ones and your favorite Valentine with. So we are going to be using some delicious fresh fruit. There's no cooking involved at all in this whole process, but I'm going to tell you what you will need for our cheesecake stuffed strawberries that we are making. You will, of course, need strawberries. I found some beautiful giant strawberries, so we'll be able to fill them up with a lot of cheesecake. And we're going to top them off with a blueberry. So you will need those, of course, and then for the cheesecake part of it, you will need 8 ounces of cream cheese. And you want to leave this sitting out so it comes to room temperature. It's a lot easier to work with that way. You'll need a half a cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You could also use almond extract if you like that flavor a little bit better. Then, of course, we are going to crumble up and top it with just a little bit of graham crackers, so just a handful of those. As far as our tools that we're going to need today, we will need our electric hand mixer, so make sure you have a grown-up that can help you with that. A bowl to mix it in. We will need a cutting board and just a small knife. I'm just using a small paring knife, and depending on how firm or soft your strawberries are, you probably could get away with just using a butter knife. And a piping bag if you do not have a piping bag at home, and a lot of people don't. There's a really good workaround for that. You can just fill up a Ziploc bag and then cut off a corner of it and then squeeze it out. And then we've got our nice little tray to put our strawberries on once we are finished. So now you know exactly what you need. So I'll be right back and I'll show you how we're gonna slice up these strawberries to make them perfect. So the traditional way, and the way you will see most stuffed strawberries cut, people will cut off the top and then scoop out the inside, but then you lose a lot of that delicious strawberry fruit. So what we're gonna do is a little different. So you're gonna take your strawberry and you're gonna cut it really straight across on the bottom to cut the leaves off. We want to have it flat on the bottom so we have a flat surface to work with. It's a lot easier that way and a lot more stable. So cut those off, and then what we're gonna do, when it's flat, we are going to take our knife and cut an X shape down, not all the way to the bottom. You want to leave a little bit of room there at the bottom so that they hold together. And then we'll be able to fill the inside of the strawberry without losing any of the delicious fruit. So just cut one direction and then turn it and cut it the other way. So now our strawberries are ready to be filled. So I'm going to go ahead and place them on the platter that we will be using for them. That way I don't have to try to move them once they're filled with all of that delicious cheesecake. So here we go. And the strawberries at Publix were all huge and delicious looking like this, so it's a really good time to go get yourself some of those. And of course our blueberries are really easy. We're just going to top those so we don't have to cut those or do anything with them other than, of course, rinsing them off. That's one thing you always want to make sure you do anytime you bring home produce from the grocery store. Even if it's organic, you want to really rinse it off very well with cold water. The waxier the skin, like cucumbers and peppers and things like that, you definitely want to scrub those even more because a lot of things can stick to that wax that's on the outside of it. So always err on the side of caution, and no matter what it is, rinse it before you eat it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on our cream cheese mixture, and I'll be back in just a minute. And we are back and we are ready to make our cheesecake. So what you're gonna need, of course, like I said, is 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. The longer you can let that sit out at room temperature, the better and easier this process will be, for sure. So we've got 8 ounces of cream cheese. You can use regular, you can use low fat. I'm sure there's probably even somewhere out there a non-dairy version of this as well for those of you who may be lactose intolerant. So then we are going to use half a cup of powdered sugar, This stuff goes everywhere, so be careful. You might be covered in it. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And like I said, if you like almond, and I definitely love almond extract, and sometimes I use that instead of vanilla. So we're just gonna pour that in. And then, like I said, you're probably going to want some help from a grown-up with your hand mixer. But once you get started, because we're dealing with that really soft powdery sugar, we want to start it off on a really, really low, your first setting on your hand mixer until it gets going and gets incorporated in there so you don't have powdered sugar flying everywhere. So we're going to put our mixer down in the bowl, turn it on the lowest. And then we can turn it up a little bit and get it going. Like I said, the softer your cream cheese is when you start this, the easier it goes.
A few minutes later.
And that last part that you saw there, I kind of lifted the tines of the mixer up and left it on. That way it gets a lot of the cheesecake that might be stuck on those off a little bit easier, so you get all of that deliciousness. And what we're looking for here is we just want all of our ingredients to be fully incorporated. You don't want to see any darker brown spots from your vanilla extract, and you want your cream cheese to be nice and whipped and creamy. So we are good to go. It looks delicious. It smells really great too. So like I said, if you don't have a piping bag, which is not a big deal, a lot of people really don't have piping bags. Now, if you watch Food Network, they make you think that everybody has all the things, and most of us really don't. But this is an excellent way to do it. So what we're gonna do, I am going to scoop all of this delicious cheesecake filling out, and I'm going to put it in this bag, and we're going to cut off the corner, and we are going to use that to pipe that in to our ready and waiting strawberries. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so here's our next step in the process. So we are going to take our Ziploc bag. Word to the wise, don't use a Ziploc bag that is a stand and stuff. They are created entirely different on the bottom. You just want something that's very traditional, that has an exact corner that you can snip off. Because what happens when you fill a stand and stuff bag and you cut it, it makes a very large hole and it gets very messy very quickly. Learn from my mistakes. So here we have just our regular old Ziploc bag. We've got everything, and you want to shake it until it gets all the way down to one corner. And then we're going to make a small cut right here. So voila, an improvised piping bag. Okay, so now that we've got that, you want to get a good grip on it where you're going to be able to push everything in the direction of out of the bag and not back up towards the top. So we've made our cuts in our strawberries, so we're going to put the tip of that piping bag right down there in the center. And we're just going to squeeze and fill the strawberry up with delicious cheesecake goodness. Look how beautiful that is. It's sort of like a volcano of cheesecake and a strawberry. So it's very simple. Just kind of get your fingers in there a little bit and squeeze. Oh, they're so pretty. And then of course, once you have your delicious cheesecake inside there, we are going to top it with a blueberry for just another hint of delicious sweet fruit flavor that's got a little bit of tartness in it also, because hey, that's what love is, right? Sweet most of the time and a little bit tart. So of course, these are a delicious and super easy way to show somebody how much you love them for Valentine's Day. But because they are red, white, and blue, they are excellent for a July 4th recipe or maybe Memorial Day, anytime you want to celebrate with red, white, and blue. So I hope that you guys make some of these right away. They are delicious. Like I said, Publix right now has delicious strawberries, and they were all on sale too, along with the blueberries. So run out and get yourself some fresh fruit and whip some of these up for Valentine's Day, and I know that your Valentine will totally love them. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, of course filled with so much love and lots of delicious food. We'll see you soon. Bye.